I'm about to ruin your day. Hey, Mr. Dino. Yo. Sir, do you have a deck profile for us? Yep. What's the deck? Did you honestly expect anything else? Yes, YouTube, it is update time. I decided to take this deck to my locals, and it did pretty admirably. I could have played a little better in some instances, and probably had better cards in my side deck for certain scenarios. But overall, I think it's a decent enough deck to show off. So, let's get to this. Alright, start this off with the main monster. Mr. Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. Oh, what? This card's awesome. Why is this card awesome? Because it Book of Moons the whole field, deals burn damage, and it clears boards. Actually, that's a really good explanation. You know it. Next up, 3 copies of Soul Eating Noviraptor. It's a much better elemental hero Stratos that combos very, very nicely with another card you're going to see very soon. And essentially this, plus this busted card, are the absolute lifeblood of this deck. Because this card is insane. Miscellaneous Aerosaurus. Because it protects your dinosaurs from pretty much anything your opponent's likely to do to them. And he puts another body on board via banishing himself plus, any other number of dinosaurs if you're looking for a higher level dinosaur to summon from your deck. This guy's absolutely insane. If you're ever playing against this, you need to hit this card. Otherwise, it just snowballs into a lot of advantage. And the thing to note, Oviraptor and Conductor Tyranno, their effects destroy a dinosaur monster on the field or in your hand. So what you're doing is you're destroying one of these guys, the Petite Pterodon or Baby Cerosaurus. And they're the same card essentially, the only difference being he summons a level 4 or higher from your deck, and he summons a level 4 or lower. Baby Cerosaurus is the main advantage engine in the whole deck, but Petite Pterodon has some really cool plays. A couple other cards. And the other super important card in the whole deck that you have to play, 2 copies of this guy, Crocodile. He pops a dinosaur in your hand or on your field in order to search a double evolution pill from, or ultra evolution, whatever. Essentially your spell card that cheats out your boss monsters. And also, you can just banish Miscellaneous Aerosaurus to summon this from your deck. He's utterly insane, and the reason why this deck is just tier 1, to be honest with you. And to round out your dinosaur lineup, Dino Wrestler Prankatops, Giant Rex, Durgarin, and 1 Overtex Quaddulus. In all honesty, I might end up dropping this card because I was never really in a scenario where I needed to stop spells and traps with him. But there was one game where I did in fact make him hard way, which is really awkward. He's a searchable out to anything. He's part of your play enablers because when he's banished, he special summons himself. And then, him being a level 4 dinosaur, if you know it, you know. This guy's absolutely insane. If he was at 2 or 3, you'd be just, yeah. The Petite Pterodons, I'd probably be playing 3 of them. Because you can summon him off of that little guy and pretty much have a quick effect pop to answer anything. Now on the hand traps, I did 1 Nibiru, 3 Ash Blossom, and the Gamma package. These 2 were absolutely insanely good all day and just messed up so many things. This guy in particular being absolute MVP even though I kind of just personally am not the biggest fan of it, because after you use it once, you kind of are absolutely worthless otherwise, and you can't be normal summoned. And then Ash Blossom and Joyous Springs is great. And this was just kind of a filler card. That's about it for the hand traps. Nothing really much to say. For spells, I ran 2 Lost World and 3 Fossil Dig and double Evolution Pill. I pretty much just run these in accordance to the number of the Crocodile. Why would you not play 3 Reinforcement of the Army? I did not see or use this once today. I know why it's good. It just never occurred. And this build, a little different than my last one. I decided to go with the Extravagance build because, well, 1, I only own 2 Extravagance, and 2, I just kind of wanted to try something that was a little bit less combo oriented. Not so much a glass cannon, but rather control with, a metric huge amount of just chungusy beaters. For the most part, I actually really like this build. It's kind of cool in a way, but who knows, maybe I'll end up trying the combo version again. Who knows? Rounded out one of those, 1 Called by the Grave, 1 Terraforming, 1 Monster Reborn, and the newly taken off the list Harpy's Feather Duster. I didn't really use this for anything, but if you're playing in a meta of a bunch of like set 5 and go kind of decks, yeah, you got this. But for the most part, this might end up moving into the sideboard in favor of more consistency cards. But as of right now, I had no issues with it. I think my spell lineup is pretty solid. And now on to the extra deck. Alright, so you're playing Extravagance, so your extra deck is kind of irrelevant, to be honest with you. But there were cards I actually did use. Start out with 2 Security Gardenas, 2 Ling Karibos, Pentastag, Underclock Taker, 2 Logia, 1 Dolka, 2 Dweller, this thingy, Oral Sword, Lambda, and Relinquish Anima. Now for some quick explanation. All of these cards can be turned into this guy, which then gives you a second type to have for your double evolution pills. The reason I ran an Underclock Taker and a Pentastag is because, well, in scenarios that they're both good, they can be. But really, it's because I don't own 2 Pentastag. I just needed a generic decent Link 2. This was just in here as a filler card. If anything, I'd probably just play a 3rd Link Karibo because I kind of had absolutely no use for it because people were smart and didn't play things and their extra monsters on. Or in all actually, what this really probably would be a 2nd Dolka, but I'll get to explain that one in a bit. This has uses, I guess, but most likely Extravagance it away. I did Boral Sword somebody for game, so that's why he's in here. They should probably be a 2nd Boral Sword, but I don't own one, but I guess he kind of has some combos you could do. You never used him once. This guy's real good. If you remember the old Dino Rabbit days, you know. And this guy, I really honestly just would rather have had a 2nd, if not just done 3 of him or something, because he was by far the only real extra deck card, aside from Secure Garden, I ever had absolutely any use for in regards to this particular build. Well, there you go, folks. My take on dinosaurs. Do you have any final thoughts, Mr. Dino? This deck is the best deck ever. Okay. Well, this is Meh, Pig and Meh, signing out.